the tale of a fatal trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship.
Oh boy, they're telling me I've got the day off. It's 4 reruns in a row of Gilligan's Island from like 60 years ago. The first 2 episodes are in black and white. The second 2 are in color. Gilligan's Island reruns from 60 years ago. Next. It is indeed New Orleans. It's not Gilligan's Island. Yeah, you right, Corey Johnson back at you. A Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Wide Open Wednesday. I love Wide Open Wednesday, where you're the show producer. Maybe there's a topic we're not discussing enough. Maybe there's one that we're not talking about at all that you think is of vital importance. That's what Wide Open Wednesday is all about. You're the show producer, whatever you'd like to discuss. The way you do it, the Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. You're the show producer on Wide Open Wednesday. We'd like to hear from you. A full slate this afternoon, by the way. 5 vehicles. Well, I shouldn't say 5 vehicles. 5 burglary suspects breaking into multiple vehicles. 5 vehicle burglary suspects who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish sheriff officers. All 5 caught, apprehended, sort of near Bucktown. I don't think it's really Bucktown when you're on the other side of West Esplanade, the veteran side of West Esplanade. I think that ceases to be Bucktown. It's in between West Esplanade and Vets, right off Lake Avenue. A lot of apartments in that area. Anyway, I don't think that's Bucktown. And I mean, I guess it's New Metry, but there's got to be a name for that area off Lake Avenue that is not Bucktown. Anyway, that's where it went down. 5 suspects, all apprehended. I think it was Lake and Pine Street, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Sewage and Water Board, finally, about 18 years post-Katrina, finally getting a retention pond built of some pseudo-significance, bigger than just like a regular lot. I've seen a few of these smaller retention ponds. It might be a corner lot where a house once was. And now it's sort of a retention pond with a little, kind of marsh area to do some filtering of the runoff from the streets and the roads, that type of stuff. Anyway, they're building a retention pond right by Bayou St. John, Orleans Avenue, American Can, Lafitte Greenway. Building a big retention pond there. Now, I've had Ghassan Korban on the show, the director of the Sewage and Water Board, multiple times. Good golf courses use this simple philosophy. How do we keep the, fairways and greens? We want them watered when we want to water them. And we want them dry if some, big weather system comes in. And we want the bayous, lakes, ponds that intertwine within our golf course. We want to be able to control the height of those. Like if a big storm system's rolling in, we will lower those ponds and canals and bayous within the golf course, in and around the golf course. So when water hits the greens and the fairways, it'll flow right off and fill up those low-lying areas using the old gravity method. No, and go into these retention ponds. The city of New Orleans should be the same deal. It's almost like required learning when you're a New Orleanian. The pumps, the Sewage and Water Board pumps pump an inch of rain the first hour and a half inch of rain every hour after that. Out of streets and neighborhoods, it's ridiculous. How about pumping down water features on neutral grounds, on green spaces, on open areas that really aren't being utilized so much as green space? I mean, Palmer Park I remember like 40 years ago, let's say, roughly 40 years ago, Palmer Park was like it is right now. And to jazz it up, they built a lagoon system with bridges all around Palmer Park. About 15 or 20 years ago, they filled them all in. They need to go back to the lagoon system. Besides it being aesthetically nice and it draws people to the park, more amenities, more stuff. It's a great water retention pond system where you could drain a lot of that Holly Grove, Pigeon Town neighborhood, Carrollton section of Uptown Riverbend, even parts of Fontainebleau, kind of mid-city area. Elysian Fields from like the river to the lake, that ridiculously wide neutral ground that rarely ever do you see a human being on it. It should be a huge retention pond, as they talked about 18 years ago, post-Katrina. In Gentilly, about, I guess what, St. Bernard Avenue, and I guess that's Mirabeau. St. Bernard Avenue at Mirabeau, what is it, an old nun's home or something like that? That's abandoned, no buildings there, just land, acres and acres and acres of land. That was supposed to be some gigantic retention pond for like Oak Park, Gentilly, that area, St. Bernard, over by City Park. Anyway, retention ponds are a no-brainer. We've really got none built, none of significance, none of that are multi-million dollar huge projects that can make a major difference. Got a lot of space for them. I just mentioned just a few and not a shovel in the ground anywhere. The Sewage and Water Board building a retention bond by Bayou St. John, Lafitte Greenway, the American Can condos, Orleans, and Bayou St. John. Anyway, that's good news. Long overdue. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants more cash for her department. The BGR, Bureau of Governmental Research, says no. No to the extra $50 to $100. I would probably, wager on it being near the $100 side for each NOLA homeowner. $100 more a year. It would generate about $12 million for the sheriff's office. She's already got a $56 million budget. That would put it near 70. She wants to hire 300 more deputies and spend the money on some other stuff as well. Entergy proposing $1 billion storm hardening plan. About $12 more to your Entergy bill within 5 years. A NOLA school bus with kids inside struck by bullets in Central City, a school bus with kids inside. The abortion pill, Supreme Court keeps this issue on pause until Friday. A sad story, Buddy Teevens, the old Tulane Green Wave coach, now Dartmouth football coach, he got in a biking accident. He was on the bike, a truck hit him, doing like 50. That was a few weeks back. He lost his leg today. Still suffering a spinal cord injury. Dartmouth football coach, former Green Wave head coach Buddy Teevens, the Buddy system, coaching the Green Wave about 40 years ago, 35 to 40 years ago. Wow. Time flies. Hey, every day, this program on radio, oh so fine, 93.9 FM, New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. We're on TV all around Louisiana, Cox Channel 4 television, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. We're on the charter system, Spectrum Channel 333, Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Hammond, Homa, Thibodaux, Opelousas, all over South Louisiana on TV, 4 to 5:30. Like radio, 4 to 6 o'clock, live streaming, KaareTalks.com. Kaare spelled Kaare, KaareTalks.com. And help us grow our fledgling YouTube channel, Kaare Johnson, Neutral Ground, live on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doesn't cost a thing. Kaare Johnson, Neutral Ground on YouTube. Yeah, you right. Each and every day we do it live from the Buddy Diliberto River Cities Total Maintenance Studios. Your AC's not working right? Worse, making a funny noise, not operating like it did last summer? Or Totally worse, not getting a thing out of it at all. Don't stress out. Solve the problem immediately. River City's Total Maintenance is there. Honest air conditioning experts. They'll diagnose it right away. And they come immediately because your air conditioning's not working right. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com. Speaking of, it started cool in the 60s this morning. Now it's like 80. Tomorrow, we might even have a little mid-80s action and higher humidity. Corey Johnson with you. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metry, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Getting all kind of emails during the break. It was 5 Hondurans. If they knew they were 2 blocks from Orleans Parish, they would have just jumped the canal and gotten away with it in Orleans Parish. And there's no doubt that, first off, Jefferson Parish is a suburb of Orleans Parish. New Orleans is the inner city. Jefferson Parish is the suburbs of the inner city. It is a totally different crime situation. It's not even close or comparable. That's just, generally speaking, 99% of the time, any city in North America, probably the world. The crime kind of starts out in the inner city and it goes out from there. And in the inner city, it's any kind of killing is going to probably be a murder, whereas the farther you get out from the inner city, those murders become killings, where it's the same homicide charge, but someone that maybe knows someone, a relative, a friend, get into some type of argument, some spat, becomes a killing. So anyway, you have the inner city, you have the suburbs, you have the exurbs. Crime's going to be different in Jefferson Parish, but there is a larger police force. They seem more proactive. There seems to be more patrol cars. There seems to be, I mean, in New Orleans, you call 911, who knows how long it's going to be until a policeman shows up. It might be 15 minutes. It might be 15 hours. Literally, like, who knows? I've called 911 in the metro area. Only in Orleans Parish does it go to a recording sometimes. Never, ever in my life. It's like a ring or two. Sometimes it doesn't even ring. If you're on the Causeway or in Jefferson Parish or St. Bernard or Kenner or on the North Shore somewhere. Doesn't even ring. New Orleans, it rings and then goes to an answering machine. No, Jefferson Parish is a few minutes for 911 service. Kenner, it can be measured in seconds. Policeman could be there in 45 seconds. I think the longest wait time you're going to have in Kenner for a Kenner policeman might be about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They're all over the place. They know where they are. We got a call. Squad car 19 is 4 blocks away. Radio it into them, and they beeline over there. Anyway, yeah, I get the joke. I mean, there's definitely some accuracy to the joke. I think New Orleans, they're not running, 360s on the interstate in Jefferson Parish like people are doing, on the interstate or regular streets in New Orleans. Violent crime, much worse in New Orleans because it's the city, but also there's this attitude like, man, pretty good chance you're not going to get caught. A vehicle is stolen every hour, on the hour, 24/7 in New Orleans. Every hour a vehicle stolen. Carjacking, vehicle theft. Chances are pretty good not going to get caught. 5 vehicle burglary suspects who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish sheriff officers, all 5 apprehended. And I believe at least 4, if not all 5, were Honduran, as these emails seem to say. If they knew they were 2 blocks from Orleans Parish, they would have gotten away. Yep. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. No, you hear me talking about golf. I play a little golf. I like golf, whatever. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. Trying to stay active. I walk. Whoop-de-doo, playing a little golf. A lot of folks don't even think it's a sport. I assure you it's a sport. Anyway, good golf courses, when they know a rain event's coming in, like, boy, tomorrow looks like a 100% chance rain, every meteorologist is saying. Houston got dumped on, so did Lake Charles. It's heading our way, blah, blah, blah. Texas, Alexandria got dumped on. It's heading our way. Looks like we're going to get lots of rain. It could be 6 to 8 inches. That's what they're predicting. Could be tornadoes, whatever. those good golf courses, they immediately start lowering the water table in their ponds and bayous and lakes on the golf course. And they pump it out of the golf course. And then when that storm comes rolling in 24, 36 hours and dumps several inches of rain in just a few hours on that golf course, on the greens, on the fairways, it absorbs what it wants. And then when it's saturated, the excess just flows downhill. Gravity pulls it out, goes into these lower lying lakes, ponds, bayous around the golf course where the water table's been lowered, ready to accept all this new water. And then once those start filling up, the Sewage and Water Board would be pumping an inch the first hour, a half inch every hour after that from these retention ponds instead of streets and neighborhoods. That would be a total last resort. And ideally, all these retention ponds you're building are part of a totally separate, independent system where the old system is just being patched up to keep streets and roads dry. And this new retention pond system does not use those pumps, does not use those pipes, all new. I mean, if you're lowering just retention pond water, which would be filtered coming in from the street into the retention pond, could be filtered on the way out. You can put that into the lake. You can put that into canals. You can put that into the river. I guess the river would be the ideal place. You can put it wherever you need to put it. But Katrina, working with water instead of against it, we never really embraced that. Even like how we build levees and flood walls and the like, they're not very people friendly. Look at Hain Boulevard in the east, the flood wall in the lake right by the train tracks. I mean, is there a flat surface at the top for even walking or jogging? Are there any benches or lights or anything up there? It's very not people friendly, not designed with people in mind. Although, 999 days out of 1,000 on average, like 999 out of 1,000, it's not being used to hold back water to prevent the neighborhood from flooding. But it's there all the time. Yet without even cost increase, just some changes in basic designs, you could have, done just minor changes that would have made all these, barriers and levees and flood walls more people friendly, where we could access the water and enjoy the water and still be protected. Not something that's just like, man, that's an industrial project. People stay away. It's a big concrete wall. People could be staying on top of it. Anyway, retention ponds, part of the rebuilding of New Orleans post-Katrina, and just totally neglected. 18 years later, and some of the biggest ones, like the entire neutral ground of Elysian Fields, from the river to the lake, from the French Quarter to UNO, the entire Elysian Fields neutral ground, a huge linear park, linear retention pond for miles and miles, marsh and wetlands, little fishing piers, jogging and bike paths, benches with lights, something that would attract people to the neutral ground. The Elysian Fields neutral ground, I can't remember seeing anyone ever kicking a soccer ball, throwing a football, picnicking, nothing. I've never seen people on the Elysian Fields neutral ground, maybe down by like Claiborne's, where folks will go sit out. Some of the old timers will bring out their chairs and sit under a tree. That's about it. Not a lot of that going on the Elysian Fields neutral ground. That was supposed to be a big linear retention pond. Mirabeau at St. Bernard Avenue, it's like old nun's home. I think it's 30 or 40 acres. That was supposed to be some massive retention pond that could be a big difference maker to the Oak Park neighborhood, Gentilly neighborhood. Big difference when it came to rain and flooding. 30, 40 acre retention pond, plus something that would attract people, fishing and bike paths and walking paths and well lit, like a park that folks want to go to. And it's working for us. Now, a retention pond is going to be built by Bayou St. John, the Lafitte Greenway, basically Bayou St. John and Orleans Avenue by the American Can, those condos, those apartments. This is kind of a, bigger than like an individual homeowner that had a house and they gave up the house, sold it to the city bought it, whatever, tore the house down, blighted property, seized it, tore it down, and dug a little retention pond. Bigger than that, but not something like the one I was mentioning on Mirabeau or Elysian Fields. Acres and acres and acres, not that big. Maybe an acre or two tops, from what I gather. This one on Bayou St. John. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants more money, more taxpayer money for her department. About $100, $75 to $100 a head for every NOLA homeowner. $12 million for the sheriff's department. Already has a $56 million budget, $68 million plus, almost $70 million budget. She wants to hire 300 more deputies. 300 more deputies needed. The Bureau of Governmental Research, the BGR, says no. Half-cocked plan, not a lot of details. Vote no on that if it actually is something we'll vote on. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Why aren't you at Katie's right now, winding down the day at Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant? Don't forget about Francesca Deli and Pizzeria in Lakeview. Katie's and Francesca, some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Why aren't you at Katie's right now?
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metry, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Hey guys, it's Frank Smith from LasVegasGambling.com with your weekend 5-star lock of the week. Lock of the week, lock of the week. Take the Lakers and the points over the Clippers. Sell the house, sell the boat, sell your children. Send grandma away and take the money. Put everything you've got on this 5-star selection. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. And we've also got a fantastic 5-star parlay as well. Call us now, 888-555-7777. It's Frank Smith, a.k.a. The Hammer, from LasVegasGambling.com. Do it now, now, now.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top bench and more exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Yesterday, I said I'd give the answer to this trivia question yesterday. I'll do that today, but I'm going to continue to ask it. What makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Fried Chicken different? What makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Fried Chicken different? I think it's a pretty easy question. Part of their method, how they prepare the chicken, it's different than just about everyone else's chicken. Some people think it's a big plus. Some people think it's maybe not necessarily a plus. What makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Fried Chicken different? If you got the answer to that, I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa for you. Hey, no internet device, no search engines. No Google or Yahoo or DuckDuckGo or Bing. You either know the answer or you don't. The way you participate in the program, you dial us up via the Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. I will answer this question before the show is over. Willie Mae's Scotch House, their fried chicken, what makes it different from just about everybody else's? 766-9480. If you have the answer, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Mandeville, the latest to join the crew. We got an answer for Kim Mulkey's hometown. Was that the same place that Kim Mulkey was born? Where was Kim Mulkey, LSU Lady Tigers national championship coach? Where was she born? The original New Orleans Prime Steakhouse, where the steaks came sizzling in butter on a very hot plate. They started that trend. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. How many inches annual rainfall does New Orleans receive? How many inches a year of rain do we receive in New Orleans? Roughly, generally speaking. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Let's go to the phone lines. Cecilia joins us. What up, Cecilia?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. Where you calling from?
From New Orleans in Pigeon Town.
Nice. Pigeon Town. That's pretty close to my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good area behind Lebanon's Cafe.
Yep, right by there.
Near the Sewerage and Water Board?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't know they were over here.
Are you getting oil on your vehicle when they turn on turbine number 6?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm that close to them where I'm getting oil on my vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not either, so I must not be close enough. The wind blows in a different direction, or I'm not near turbine number 6, but I've not received oil on my vehicle. Every now and then some weird smells coming out of Sewage and Water Board. I'm sure when I'm on my deathbed, I'll be like, if I didn't live near the Sewage and Water Board, I'd have 6 more months. Anyway, what's on your mind, Cecilia in Pigeon Town, Carrollton section of Uptown New Orleans?
Well, I was just calling to see if my answer was right about Willie's Chicken to win the $50.
What makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Fried Chicken different, unique, besides waiting over an hour to receive it?
Someone told me they use vinegar in their batter.
Huh, vinegar in their batter. I wouldn't doubt that. That's not really the answer I was looking for, but that's pretty darn close, Cecilia. We're going to say you are correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, what was the actual answer?
Well, the actual answer is they use a wet batter, not dry.
Oh, okay. So
Like they,
yeah.
they dip it in something wet and then they drop it in the oil. They don't dip it in something wet and then flour it up and then put it in oil. It's a wet batter into the oil.
Yeah, that makes good fried chicken.
I guess so. Yeah, they're pretty much the only ones that I know of that do like a wet batter technique. I think everybody else does, wet batter into flour, some kind of,
Mm-hmm. I used to work at Cane's. That's how they did it there.
Wet, and then into the flour.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, that's the only fast food I eat is Cane's.
Yeah, they're the best. They have really good chicken, and I love the toast. I get buttered on both sides.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. That's a good.
Do you eat their coleslaw?
I actually don't eat their coleslaw. I usually get more fries than the coleslaw. How's the coleslaw? Good?
No, it's not good. That's why I asked. No one gets it. Everyone replaces it with something.
Yeah, I get something else. Yep. I mean, if they would have presented that idea to me, I would have been like all the other banks. Sorry, dude, this isn't a good idea. It doesn't seem viable. You need more items on the menu. 600 locations later, boy, I would have been wrong.
I know. It's very well. It started as it was business students in Baton Rouge, right, at LSU, who started it.
Yeah, it was one guy, I think, and he got turned down by a bunch of banks, and then he went, I think, fishing for 6 months in Alaska and made a few years of cash, and then started it in the old Mandy's Conoco station on Highland Road and West State, something like that. In that old gas station, and it's been going on a roll for the last 30 straight years. No, it's solely owned by that dude, and he's got 600 plus locations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank God someone believed in him.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. No, I mean, everybody loves Chick-fil-A, and I mean, I think it's decent quality, but very salty. It seems pre-breaded. It's not crispy. It's sort of soft and wet. I don't know. Cane's to me is fresh, and you order it, it's hot. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Really
Cane's does really well, but Chick-fil-A does insane. Chick-fil-A's do north of $20,000 a day.
Oh, really? Yeah,
they just
everyone
kill
loves
it.
Chick-fil-A. I mean, I do like Chick-fil-A, but I would rather eat at Cane's.
Myself, I just don't think it has the selection. It definitely doesn't have there's a good base of people that like Cane's, but Chick-fil-A just has people are obsessed with Chick-fil-A. Anyway.
They really are.
It's crazy. Hey, Cecilia, hang on, all right? We're going to tighten you up with that $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate.
Okay, thank you. Wait, what is the gift certificate for?
$50 at the Woodhouse Day Spa, the city's premier day spa. You just knew I was giving away something, so you called in, huh?
I didn't know what it was $50 for. I just heard $50.
Go get your nails done.
That sounds great.
Go get a facial.
I will.
All right, cool.
I will, yeah.
Cecilia, hang on, all right? That's Cecilia joining us on the program. Yeah, you right. From Pigeon Town, my neck of the woods. My favorite neighborhood is that Pigeon Town, Riverbend, Carrollton section of Uptown, Oak Street, Willow Street, Maple Street, Riverbend. Really tough to beat. It is like its own town. It was its own town. The old Ben Franklin, now like an assisted living old folks home, that was the city hall. Down Maple Street on that little mound, that was the mayor's house. Carrollton, the city of Carrollton, the town of Carrollton. Pretty cool. It's still like that. It may be fully integrated as part of Orleans Parish, but it's like its own little town. You really don't have to go on the, university side of Broadway. Broadway's like as far as you need to go. You don't really need to go to, quote, uptown. I mean, I'll go to the park and walk my dog or do a little running, attempted running. But, I like the right off River Road, Pigeontown, Riverbend, Carrollton neighborhood. Maple Street has some just fantastic restaurants right there on Maple Street, in like a 4-block area. About 5-6 decent restaurants. A few of them, Maple Street Cafe, Jamila's, Coat Suit. They're all really good. Brightson's right around the corner. That's as good as it gets. Anyway, I wish someone would clean up Camellia Grill, but I guess they don't have to. I drive by sometimes. I want to roll down the window and go, it's not that good. You shouldn't be waiting in line for that. It's not that good. I don't know what's worth waiting in line. I'm still stymied by that NOLA guy's place on Earhart near Carrollton on Sunday. The line's like a block long, like 100-yard line with hundreds of folks waiting to get in the NOLA Friendly Guy or whatever that is on Earhart right there. Rouse's Market's phone lines 504-766-9480. Rouse's Market's phone line 766-9480. To Metry, Louisiana, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. Bobby joins us. What up, Bobby?
All right, dude. How you doing, Cora?
Doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing fine, man.
Good.
Like to answer, try to get the answer on the steak platter deal.
Yeah, who's the first trendsetter? The steak restaurant serves sizzling and butter on a hot plate.
Would that be Charlie's on Dryades?
Charlie's on Dryades behind Pascal's Manali.
Right.
That is a hell of a good guess, Bobby, but incorrect.
Oh, sure. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Bobby. That's a good try. I haven't been to Charlie's in a while. Went to Manali's last week, sat at the bar. Got gumbo, got that combination pan roast appetizer. That was my lunch. Cup of gumbo and the combination pan roast appetizer at Manali sitting at the bar. Bobby, good guess. Not Charlie's Steakhouse on Dryades right off Napoleon behind Manali's. Hey, Carol and Metry, we're coming to you next. Don't move, Carol. And you too, 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
What a gorgeous afternoon in Metro New Orleans. Get outside, enjoy this weather. We started around 62, 63 degrees, inched our way up to the high 70s, about 80 degrees, but lower than normal humidity. So get outside, enjoy the weather. Hey, Rouse's Market's phone lines are open, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. To New Orleans we go. Rob joins us on the program. What up, Rob?
Well, I got a couple of comments to make about your subjects, but I want to try to answer one of those questions you said about rainfall. I've always minded I remember reading somewhere at some point 6 feet of rain a year, so 6 times 12 would be 72 inches. That might have been from a long time ago, but
that's pretty darn close, Rob. In between 60 and 70 inches. I don't know if we get up to 72 too often. Usually around like 63, 65, 67 inches a year. Something like that.
You remember 1995, that nor'easter that dropped 18 inches of rain in 6 hours, though?
Oh no! Look what happened to Fort Lauderdale. They got 20 inches of rain in 6 hours. That's just crazy.
Right. Well, hey, I want to comment on a couple of the subjects. The last time I called in, you had brought up that St. Patrick's Day parade with the banana, and I want to just say I noticed, was it the crew of Toth where the mayor flipped the bird, and I didn't know what had happened there, but apparently someone on the float did. And did you know that crew actually apologized to the mayor for that?
Yeah, I think the person either on the float that flipped off the mayor said something disparaging, cursed at the mayor, something. I want to say Toth kicked them out of the parade and apologized for that. The float was called Vappy Mardi Gras, not Happy, Vappy Mardi Gras.
Yeah, but I thought about you because you brought that up the last time I called in, and I said there should be some kind of repercussion. Like if Toth had apologized, whoever threw that banana should apologize. But
I don't know where that story's gone, Rob. The St. Patrick's Day parade on Metry Road with the banana with the N-bomb written on it.
The Toth apology was months later, so that's why I was thinking about it. But in any case, I want to bring up something you brought up today about the sheriff and the millage. I don't need to know any of the details of it or listen to her say, we need this for public safety or whatever. All I know is that she got busted spending tens of thousands of dollars on expensive hotel rooms during Mardi Gras. Now, when that happened, I thought, what do I know? Maybe she needed that. But all I saw was Marlon Guzman got out there and said, we never did that. So that was wrong, like in terms of how she spent that money.
No, and plus some canine group out of rural Louisiana was going to donate the money back. You got to go through procedure. You can't just accept that way. Who are they to do that? Gusman saying it wasn't right. Hutson, defends it in the beginning. Then she fires 3 to 4 higher administration people because of a lot of infighting, arguing over that exact topic. Yeah, Rob, you got to earn trust to get more money. And I don't think there's anything Susan Hutson has done. The opposite. You could say not only has an earned trust, makes you lose any trust you may have had in her. So, I think the totally wrong approach, she tried to get it through the council. They turned her down. Now she's trying to get it from taxpayers. So desperate for this $12 million.
It's crazy. So, as you say, one of her first responses was to double down on it. But through her actions, she's shown us that she's not fiscally responsible. And one other point on that point that you just brought up, the people she fired, I know someone that knows one of them. I can't remember his name, but they said he's a great guy, really competent, really ethical. And I know that at least 2 of the guys she fired were against her spending all that money on the hotel.
Oh, no, that's one of them's going after like the whistleblower status, like got fired because I was turning in or bringing to light this questionable expense.
Right. Well, anyway, there's no way that anyone should vote for that millage on the 29th. All right, Corey, keep up the good work. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Rob, hang on. Don't go anywhere because you are correct. Going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Rob in New Orleans. Don't go anywhere. Jason's going to get some info from you. Carol joins us in Metry, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic out there, Carol.
Okay, Corey, listen, I'll tell you, your mother is 92. Well, I just made 93 in April. I wish her the best.
Wow. Are you driving still, Carol?
Question. I don't know if I'm qualified or not, but how about the Broad Street Steakhouse on Broad? It's been there a long time, and it's close to Tulane Avenue near the jailhouse.
What are you talking about, the old Roost Chris?
No, I said the Broad Street Steakhouse.
All right. What would that be? Crescent City Steaks?
No, I thought it was Broad Street Steakhouse.
Oh, that's the name of it, Broad Street Steakhouse?
Well, I thought it was. It's been there for years.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess maybe I've had too many birthdays.
Uh-oh. Are you still driving at 93, Carol?
Yes, I am.
How are you handling the vehicle? Just fine?
Just right here in Metry and so on and so forth. I haven't given that up yet. That'll be the last resort.
You ever get on the interstate in the vehicle or no?
No, not anymore. I used to drive to the casinos everywhere you could imagine. Lafayette, Florida.
But now you
Houston,
stick.
But now I limit myself, and of course my children wouldn't want me to go any further than I go right now.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm in good shape. They say I'm going to live to be 100 years old, 4 doctors, and I said, I don't know if I want to live that long.
Well, as long as you're mentally and physically good,
Well, they giving me an A+ every time I go to the doctors. Mama had 8 of us, so I'm number 8, and I'm the only one living. But I got plenty children, plenty grandchildren, and plenty greats.
Wow. That's awesome. 4 generations. Carol and Metry, thanks so much for calling. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know of a Broad Street Steakhouse. Carol and Metry. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way next. Yeah, you're right. What a gorgeous day. You could have knocked out that painting project. Helm Paint and Decorating for over 50 years. You're ace in the hole, New Orleans. New Orleanians that know. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, you go to Helm. You do it once. You do it right. They really will steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. Even Blue Boy knows that. What else, buddy? Folks should stick around because the 5 o'clock power hour is right now. Thank you, Blue Boy. Thank you for that, buddy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint, and supply.
Hi, everyone. It's Tommy Wrong for AsbestosMoneyGrab.com. This is not, I repeat, not for folks with real asbestos problems. But if you're like me and were maybe taking a shop class in high school where you maybe breathed in some brake dust and you know for certain you're fine, but you're the type of person that takes advantage of these types of situations, get tested, lawyer up, and steal some money like me. Go to I'm not really hurt at all, but like exploiting the system for free cash.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's Hawaii 5-0, McGarrett, Dano, and everybody else there to arrest you. They made the old saying, look out, here comes the 5-0, famous. It's Hawaii 5-0. Not to be confused with the Mustang 5.0. Drew Brees, please. Number 9 now. Number 9 is correct. This is indeed New Orleans. It's not Hawaii. It's not Honolulu, Maui. It's not La Jolla outside San Diego where Drew Brees lives in his multi-million-dollar compound. It's New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson with you. Got a good one lined up for you. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. 5 o'clock power hour this afternoon brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. Hey guys, you're getting her some diamonds. Diamond stud earring, diamond tennis bracelet, diamond necklace. New Orleanians that know about Friend and Company Fine Jewelers when it comes to engagement rings, diamond wedding bands. So you're getting her diamonds, and it's her, your significant other, your girlfriend, your wife, the mother of your children, the most important person in your life. Time to get her those diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Real diamonds, natural diamonds, 1 billion with the letter B, 1 billion years old. Not 3-week-old lab-created man-made diamonds flooding the market from China. No, we're talking about real diamonds, natural diamonds, diamonds that appreciate in value, not diamonds that go down in value because they're not real, they're man-made, they're lab-created. They're 3 weeks old, not 1 billion years old. Are you kidding me? You're getting her that diamond purchase, a lifetime purchase. Do it right, guys. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Real natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Like Ken Friend says, you have a friend in the jewelry business. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. 5 o'clock power hour this afternoon, brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Hey, I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. What makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Fried Chicken different? That wet batter they use. They dip it into the wet batter and they drop it in the oil. They don't dip it in the wet batter, then put it into flour, cornmeal or something. Dip it in the wet batter and that goes straight in the oil. Wet batter. That's what makes Willie Mae's Scotch House Chicken different. Kim Mulkey's hometown, where she grew up, Tickfaw, strawberry country, right outside of Hammond. Where was Kim Mulkey born? Same place, different place? You got the answer? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. You got the answer? I got $50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. The original New Orleans Prime Steakhouse where steaks came sizzling in butter on a hot plate. Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. How many inches of rainfall in New Orleans annually? About 65. So that one was answered. How many inches of annual rainfall in New Orleans? And also the Willie Mays Scotch House, what makes their fried chicken different? Wet batter. But we still got a few out there for you. Kim Mulkey, where was she born? The original New Orleans Prime Steakhouse, where the steak came sizzling in butter on a hot plate. Where was the original? Give me the answer to that. Either one of those. 50 big bucks at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 50 big bucks for you. Good at the flagship location, Canal Street at Carrollton in Mid-City, New Orleans. They're in Metry near North Kenner, Transcontinental at West Esplanade. 2 North Shore locations, I-10 and Gauze, about a minute off that Slidell exit. And they're in Mandeville now, their newest location, East Causeway Approach, directly across the street from the Mandeville City Hall. And, of course, the Baton Rouge location by the Mall of Louisiana. WoodhouseSpas.com to book an appointment at any of those 5 locations. WoodhouseSpas.com. Or answer one of our trivia questions and pick up 50 big bucks. 766-9480. 766-9480. Kim Mulkey, where was she born? New Orleans Original Prime Steakhouse, where the steaks came sizzling in butter on a hot plate. They still come sizzling in butter on a hot plate. 766-9480. 766-9480. This Prime Steakhouse has the best prices on prime beef at a steakhouse in town, too. It's not even close. Some of the steaks are like half the price, almost half the price, like $35 instead of $65. Steakhouses can get crazy. Some of the prices can get out of control. You get some, out of the ordinary type steak, like a tomahawk ribeye, depending on how big it is, or like a porterhouse that's clearly for like 2 or 3 people. That steak's going to run you north of $90, $100, easy. And then you get, jumbo lump crab meat on top, or grilled shrimp, or a lobster tail, and up it goes. All kind of options at those prime steakhouses. And we've got, outside of Las Vegas, that has one every corner, I would put New Orleans up against anyone. Las Vegas is clearly number one per capita. There's like a little over 2 million in Metro Las Vegas, and there must be 100 prime steakhouses, like 100. 50 of them in Las Vegas, literally like 50. New Orleans probably has somewhere in between like 15 and almost 20. Chicago, New York, they probably have double that number, but that's it, like 40. And they got 10 times the population in both of those metros. Chicago, what, about 7 times more? We got 1.2, 1.3 million. Chicago's like 9.5. You can add 10 million of that Metro New York, closing in on 20 million, 18, 20 million folks in Metro New York, depending on how you count it. It's not just the 5 boroughs. New Jersey, Connecticut, parts of those states. No, we do pretty well when it comes to sheer number of prime steakhouses, and we have some good ones. I went to La Boca last week, and you can get a filet. That's probably their number one steak they sell. You can get a ribeye or a New York strip, but they also have like hanger steak, flank steak, skirt steak, lots of different cuts. It's an Argentine steakhouse. You will not be disappointed. Call them and see if they still have those corn and crawfish empanadas. Absolutely fantastic. Corn and crawfish empanadas at La Boca. Crescent City Steak is fantastic for the price. There's a lot of good prime steakhouses. La Boca, I mentioned. Doris Metropolitan. Not keen on the sides at all, but fantastic steaks. Chop House, really good steaks. Dickie Brennan Steakhouse, really good steaks. Dickie Brennan uses a couple of purveyors that are just fantastic. When you start with great meat, you can have pretty good steakhouse. Boy, a lot going on. 5 vehicle burglary suspects who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish sheriff officers, deputies, all 5 apprehended right outside of Bucktown. Sewage and Water Board building a retention pond by the Lafitte Greenway, Bayou St. John. The abortion pill, the Supreme Court keeps this issue on pause until Friday. Entergy proposing $1 billion storm hardening plan. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants to raise your taxes so she can pull in $12 million more dollars. Has she earned our trust? The BGR, Bureau of Governmental Research, says vote no on that if it goes to the polls. A New Orleans school bus with kids inside struck by bullets in Central City earlier today. Really? Really? Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. In Elmwood, on the North Shore, they're hiring. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. For a full listing of positions available, Latrim.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metry, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, the cool spot.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Yeah, you right. Gatemouth Brown or Guitar Slim? Who was that? Gatemouth Brown? Snooks Eaglin? Oh, boy. Nice. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. 5 o'clock power hour right in front of you. Kim Mulkey, where was she born? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa can be yours. Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. No cheating, no intranet device, no search engines. Kim Mulkey, where was she born? Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. The original New Orleans Prime Steakhouse that started a trend that a lot of places use nationwide. The steak coming to you sizzling in butter on a hot plate. Sizzling in butter on a hot plate. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Rouse's Markets phone line 766-9480. Thanks for checking us out. 4 to 6 o'clock weekdays. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. CoreyTalks.com live streaming till 6. We're on YouTube. Corey Johnson Neutral Ground on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, 4 to 6 weekdays. We're live on television till 5:30, 4 to 5:30, 90 minutes of fun statewide. Cox Channel 4, that's Your View, Louisiana. Cox Channel 4 television all over the state. Spectrum, Channel 333 television. Spectrum, Channel 333 television all over the state of Louisiana. Thanks for checking us out, New Orleans, on this wide open Wednesday. 5 vehicle burglar suspects who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish sheriff deputies, all 5 apprehended, not in Bucktown, but in between Bucktown, in between West Esplanade and Veterans, right off Lake Avenue, whatever that neighborhood's called. We had an emailer last hour. If they would have known they were right near Orleans Parish, they would have gone there and just gotten away with it. Sewage and Water Board finally building a retention pond, decent size, bigger than like a home lot. I'm guessing about an acre in size, maybe a little larger. Bayou St. John by the Lafitte Greenway, Bayou St. John by Orleans, Bayou St. John by the American Can condos. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants to raise taxes for her office. The Bureau of Governmental Research says vote no on that. Entergy wants to spend $1 billion storm hardening the metro area's electricity. A New Orleans school bus with kids inside struck by bullets in Central City. Abortion pill. The Supreme Court keeps the issue on pause until Friday. Right back to the Rouse's Markets phone lines we go. 766-9480 to the North Shore, Slidell. Mark joins us on the program. Good afternoon, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Yourself?
Doing pretty well, thank you.
Good. What's on your mind, Mark?
Well, I was just calling in with the answer to your steakhouse question.
The original steak served sizzling in butter, hot plate.
Oh, yeah.
What's the original, Mark?
That would be Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is incorrect.
Incorrect?
Yep.
Missed it. Oh, well.
Yep, you're warm. But they actually took the idea from someone else.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not the original Chris Steakhouse, I guess.
No, it's not. It's not Chris's Steakhouse either. He took it from basically across the street. But you're warm.
Well, hey, I'll be interested to find out. I'll keep listening.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the call in Slidell. That's Mark in Slidell. Incorrect. Yeah, the trendsetter, steak sizzling in butter on a hot plate. Still doing it. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Kim Mulkey, her home, I shouldn't say her hometown. Where was Kim Mulkey born? Where was Kim Mulkey born? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Hey, no cheating, no intranet device, no search engines. You either know the answer in your head or you don't. And if you do, I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa, the city's premier day spa experience. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, speaking of Rouse's, it's crawfish season. We're right in the middle of it, as good as it gets right now. You want to bring crawfish home live by the sack, boil them for friends and family at home? Rouse's has you covered. Live from the sack crawfish for you to bring home and boil at your Rouse's neighborhood markets. You want to just eat crawfish, hot from the pot, seasoned and spiced right? Steaming hot crawfish, hot from the pot. Rouse's Markets has you covered. Yeah, they got them both ways. The Rouse's cooks all day long, boiling crawfish all day long. Hot from the pot, crawfish for you, ready to eat at each and every Rouse's location. And also live from the sack so you can bring them home and boil them yourself, however you like it. Rouse's has you covered, literally your crawfish headquarters. Live by the sack, hot from the pot, ready to eat. Tough to beat Rouse's. 60-plus years, 60-plus locations. Best quality, best price, best selection. It does taste like home, especially during crawfish season. Rouse's Markets. Hey, the Rouse's Markets phone lines to dial up this very program, 766-9480. 766-9480. Where was Kim Mulkey born? And the originator, the first New Orleans Prime Steakhouse serving their steak sizzling in butter on a hot plate. They're still doing it that way. 766-9480, the phone number. 766-9480. 5 vehicle burglary suspects who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish Sheriff deputies. All 5 arrested Lake Avenue in between West Esplanade and Veterans. Not far from Orleans Parish, 5 Hondurans, apparently from Orleans Parish. Don't mess with JPSO. The Sewage and Water Board building a retention pond by Bayou St. John, the Lafitte Greenway, right by American Can, kind of like Bayou St. John at Orleans Avenue. How long overdue for this? They were talking about Elysian Fields Avenue, the entire length of Elysian Fields, from the river to the lake, from the French Quarter from the Marigny to UNO. river to the lake. It's probably got to be a 5-mile stretch. Talking about that neutral ground being a 5-mile long linear retention pond. What a brilliant idea. Not only are retention ponds, beautiful, wildlife, you can fish, fishing pier, jogging, walking path, benches, something that will attract people to the neutral ground. The Elysian Fields neutral ground is abandoned, basically. There's no human interaction going on that neutral ground. Hey, TV audience, we'll see you tomorrow, 4 to 5:30 weekdays, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, mañana. Yeah, post-Katrina, all we should be doing is digging retention ponds, connecting them all together to a drainage system that puts the water ideally in the river and is not connected to the existing sewage and water board system. Think about a golf course. It's the easiest way. They have lakes and ponds and bayous running through the golf courses. The ones that do it right, when a storm is predicted, heavy rains are predicted, they will lower the water table in those water hazards on the golf course. Lower it by a few feet if they want. And then when that rain comes rolling in, when that rain event hits that golf course facility, it could be several inches in an hour. The water rolls off the fairways and greens, out of the sand traps, and rolls right into these lower areas, gravity pulling the water into these retention ponds, these water hazards on the golf course. Instead of the golf course having to pump the golf course, the greens and fairways dry, they're pumping those retention ponds. It's sort of required learning in New Orleans. We all know it. Yeah, the sewage and water board pumps, they can pump an inch of rain the first hour and a half inch of rain every hour after that. So an inch the first hour and a half inch of rain every hour after that. After 1 hour, an inch. After 2 hours, an inch and a half. After 3 hours, 2 inches. After 4 hours, 2.5 inches. After 5 hours, 3 inches of rain pumped out. An inch the first hour, a half inch every hour after that. Imagine doing that to retention ponds, pumping those down an inch the first hour, a half inch every hour after that, instead of streets and neighborhoods and businesses and homes and vehicles. Everyone's scrambling to park their car on the neutral ground. If you had retention ponds in all these neighborhoods, you can do the little ones, like where a house used to be, like a single lot retention pond with the, flower, water type landscaping around it to filter the water flowing in from the street. They can start lot size. They can go to what the Sewage and Water Board wants to build at Bayou St. John and Lafitte Greenway, maybe an acre and a half or two. Or you can build like Mirabeau and St. Bernard Avenue, that old nun's home. I think it's like 30 or 40 acres. How many acres is the entirety of the Elysian Fields neutral ground? Dozens and dozens and dozens of acres from the lake to the river, from the river to the lake on Elysian Fields. No, so you build all three sizes. You build massive ones. You build the ones that are a few acres, and you build ones that are tiny that just are on like a blighted piece of property. Let's remove that property. Let's make it a retention pond, park-like features. Wow, we can consolidate a few houses on the block, put them together, and build a one single larger retention pond that maybe takes up 2, 3, 4, 5 lots on a block. I would think that only would add value to the neighborhood, and the, housing stock value would only go up. It's amazing. It's 18 years after Katrina. Probably the simplest, most cost-effective, using gravity retention ponds, how there hasn't been a proliferation of those in New Orleans proper, is mind-blowing. Just think of every neutral ground, especially those like Elysian Fields, just not being utilized. Claiborne Avenue. I mean, look at Claiborne Avenue. There are not many people using the Claiborne Avenue neutral ground to hang out. You might have a few folks in a few little areas. You know, that down by Jackson and Claiborne, they've got that like canopy type thing. They've got the little walkway. I mean, that attracts some people sitting on the benches, that type of stuff. Retention ponds, fishing, bike paths, jogging trails, park benches, lit up, linear parks full of retention pond water features. Are you kidding me? It's a win-win-win for everybody. Looks better, utilizing the space to trap rainwater, groundwater, so it goes there instead of in streets and neighborhoods. Keep our city high and dry, a place that attracts people, a place that's friendly, that promotes exercise, getting outside, enjoy the outdoors. There's not a downside or a negative to it. We could probably be getting federal funding for it because it would be easy to justify. One of the more cost-effective things we'd be doing, building retention ponds all around the city. Hey, if you're on the Causeway, Trey Yen, why don't you pick up a big to-go order? 985-626-4476 is the phone number. 626-4476. If you're beelining north on the Causeway, fire in a to-go order right now. Curbside pickup. You pull right up in that half circle under the cover right in front, and Trey Yen walks your order right out to the car. They got the portable credit card machine, pay cash, whatever you like. Curbside delivery, Trey Yen to go. Critically acclaimed, nationally recognized. Tough to beat Trey Yen on the North Shore. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants to put a little millage on the tax rolls. Voters will apparently get to vote on it. She wants more money for the sheriff's department. It'll cost us, I don't know, $50, $75, $100 a month, the average New Orleans homeowner. It'll generate about $12 million annually for the sheriff's department. Her budget is already about $56, $57 million. This will put it around $70 million. It's an increase of around 20+%. She wants to hire 300 more deputies. 300 more deputies needed. All of that's according to Sheriff Susan Hutson. She seems just very vague on where's the money going, where is it going to be spent, how is it going to be spent, who is she hiring? And it's going to cost each and every homeowner in New Orleans about $75, $100 extra each year. The Bureau of Governmental Research, the BGR, says vote no, essentially saying Hutson can't be trusted. She has no record. Her plan on this, how she's going to lay out the plan, what she's going to do with the money, how it's going to be spent. None of that is well documented. Insanely vague, according to the BGR. So they're saying no, not even close. Like, this is an obvious one you vote no on. Sheriff Susan Hutson hasn't earned our trust. The opposite. She's essentially lost our trust. Entergy has a proposal, $1 billion in a storm hardening plan. So when inclement weather rolls through Metro New Orleans, power outages would go down. They would be fixed when they do go out quicker. It's $1 billion. It'll add about $12 to the monthly energy bill within about 5 years. The abortion pill, the Supreme Court keeps this issue on pause at least until Friday. A New Orleans school bus with NOLA kids inside the school bus struck by bullets in Central City yesterday afternoon. That's insane. That's beyond unacceptable. Back window glass blown out from bullets firing in the direction at a school bus with kids on board in Central City. I think it was Sophie Wright That's a really nice school. I think that's what, Napoleon at Britannia, if I'm not mistaken. That's where the buses ended up going back to. Dartmouth football coach, former Green Wave head coach, Buddy Teevens, the old Buddy system. A few weeks ago, got hit by a truck while bicycling. He has a spinal cord injury, but he lost his leg. They tried to save his leg the last few weeks. They had to amputate it today. That's just really distressing. Keep Dartmouth football coach, former Green Wave head coach, a really good guy, Buddy Teevens, and his family in your thoughts and prayers. Corey Johnson with you on the radio. Live streaming, KareTalks.com. We're on YouTube till 6 o'clock too. Click and subscribe to our fledgling YouTube channel. Every day, the program's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex out in Kennebra on the car corner. Williams Boulevard and I-10 in Kenner, right on the corner, right on the price. Yeah, inventory, price, service. Those are the three main reasons why Lamarck Ford, the big store, number one in the region. They've been at it for nearly 50 years. Inventory, price, service, why Lamarck Lincoln, number one Lincoln dealership in the state. And when you think about Lincoln and their full line of SUVs, think about Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. All those Ford SUVs and trucks, vans, all of it available at the New Orleans area Ford truck and SUV dealership. Now under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway in Elmwood.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, WoodhouseSpas.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon. Zurich Classic of New Orleans week, the annual PGA Tour stop. Head out there. They roll through Sunday out at the TPC in Avondale. If you're in the Elmwood area, you're like 5 to 7 minutes away. Right over the UEP Long Bridge, about 3 minutes down the road. Hook a left, the tail end or the beginning, however you want to look at it, of Lapalco. You hook a left off Highway 90 heading towards Mosca's on Lapalco. And then immediately on your right, like right when you get on Lapalco, the first turn on your right puts you into the TPC of Louisiana at Avondale. Lots of good food, drinks, even music after the golf's over with. Plus, if the weather keeps cooperating, you want to be outside walking around, get some good sunshine in. Don't forget the skin block. No, especially if you've been like, a hermit as far as the sun and outdoors during this whatever non-summer season or winter. No, this could be some of the first real sunshine you get, and you don't want to get torched. That's one thing as you get older. Sunburns are no fun. And when that happens at like an older age, you're like, what the hell? Ridiculous. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. A vehicle burglary crew, about 5 individuals who shot at pursuing Jefferson Parish Sheriff deputies, all 5 apprehended. That was on Lake Avenue, in between West Esplanade and Veterans, right outside of Bucktown. The Sewage and Water Board building a retention pond. Orleans Avenue by Bayou St. John, right by the Lafitte Greenway, right by American Can, by that post office. Sewage and Water Board building a retention pond there. One of that size, like an acre and a half or 2, we need hundreds of those. And we need some that are giganticus, at least dozens and dozens and dozens of some massive ones, like the proposal for Elysian Fields, the neutral ground, from the river to the lake, from the Marigny to UNO. What's that, about 5 miles? a linear retention pond, linear park, fishing, jogging, trails, walking, biking, benches, all of that good stuff. No, there's another proposed one. These have been on the books for years, probably over a decade now, literally over a decade. I think it was the old nuns' home on Mirabeau, right off of St. Bernard Avenue, in between St. Bernard Avenue and Paris Avenue on Mirabeau. It's like a 30 or 40 acre site, old nuns' home, I believe, talking about building a massive retention pond that would help drain that Oak Park neighborhood behind Holy Cross High School, would help drain Gentilly over by Paris Avenue and St. Bernard Avenue, Gentilly Boulevard, I-610 area. Now, that would be huge. It's been discussed. It's been talked about, but no shovels in the ground for that retention pond. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants more money, a millage, tax money for her department. It cost us, the New Orleans homeowner, $75, $100 a year. It would raise about $12 million for the sheriff's department. The budget for the sheriff's department right now, $56, $57 million. This would put it near $70 million. Sheriff Susan Hutson wants 300 more deputies. The BGR, the Bureau of Governmental Research, says vote no on this. The plan's weak. Can you trust the sheriff? Where's the money going to go? Who's getting the money? Vote no, says the BGR. I would agree with that. Entergy has a proposal, $1 billion storm hardening plan. It'll cost the average ratepayer about $150 a year, starting in just a few years and then go up from there, but about $12 more bucks a month in 5 years. That's for $1 billion plan to harden our Entergy grid, so when we do have inclement weather, the power either doesn't go out, or if it does go out, it's restored quickly. A New Orleans school bus with kids inside struck by bullets in Central City. That's beyond unacceptable. The abortion pill, Supreme Court keeps this issue on pause until at least Friday. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe, how about some Middle Eastern food? Outdoor dining at Lebanon's Cafe. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, where Carrollton is one lane in each direction, in between Claiborne's and the river bend. You can't miss it, the big green awning. Dine under that big green awning, under the oak trees, on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe with outdoor dining. Yeah, you're right. You know what's great about Lebanon's? Authentic, fresh, huge portions. I think they got the students, Tulane and Loyola. They want to keep the prices right. Speaking of Tulane, Dartmouth football coach, former Tulane Green Wave head football coach, Buddy Teevens. He was cycling a few weeks ago, got hit by a truck. He has a spinal cord injury, and after weeks trying to save one of his legs got amputated. So keep Buddy Teevens, former Tulane Green Wave head football coach from like 35 years ago. The Dartmouth head football coach, Buddy Teevens, keep him in your thoughts and prayers, his family too, as he recovers from this bicycle truck accident, spinal cord injury, still trying to heal. And they tried to save his leg over the last few weeks, one of his legs, but couldn't. They had to amputate it today. That's just sad. Terrible. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning, taking care of you since 1940. 83 years of excellence. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. You want to experience the best dry cleaner? A New Orleans institution for 83 years. Find out more about them online, youngsdrycleaning.com. That's youngsdrycleaning.com.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metry, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Hey y'all, it's Junket Cantrell, Mayor, City of New Orleans. We've decided to hold a contest where you can decide where I go next on my taxpayer finance vacation. I was thinking about Acapulco, but that's in the Western Hemisphere, and we can do a lot better than that. Think Europe, Asia, maybe even the Middle East. You know, if it's safe. You don't want old Junket Cantrell getting hurt. It's all about my vacation, having fun, and spending the city's money on my entertainment. I'll be flying first class, of course, and I'll be bringing some administrative flunkies with me. It should only cost the city around $30,000, maybe $40,000. Help me pick my next city finance vacation. Go online, Cantrell Junket at cityofno.gov. and have a fleeced day.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring, and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you, 5 o'clock power hour. Fausto's Italian Bistro opened their doors about an hour ago, straight up 5 o'clock. They'll go till 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday night, they go till 10 p.m. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets, park right in front, great service, indoor or outdoor dining. They got white tablecloths outdoors. When the weather's like this, consider outdoor dining at Fausto's, or sit at the bar, watch some NBA playoff action. They'll take care of you at the bar. Jordan might be up there. He's a good dude. Fausto's Italian Bistro, some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Priced right, authentic, easy in and out. No, as good as it gets. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Go check them out. They got Monday. They've got lunch on Monday through Friday. And lunch at Fausto's is good. Full menu plus Sicilian and Italian lunch specials. Monday through Friday, lunch, dinner Monday through Saturday night, Fausto's Italian Bistro. Blue Boy, I mentioned outdoor dining with white tablecloths at Fausto's already. You just think it's worth mentioning again because when the weather's like this, it's really nice eating outside. You're right, buddy. Thanks so much for joining us. See you tomorrow, straight up 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.